Hello, 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 and welcome back to Talking to Tequila with Chloe. That's me, Chloe. And we have great news. A few really fabulous things happened this week. Some affect you, some affect me, some affect both of us. First, let's hit the rundown. First and foremost, we're doing a tooth update. Secondly, I'm doing a Carl Radke book update. I want to get into a little bit of our hopes, dreams, aspirations because 2026 is coming rapidly toward us and we need to get our shit together and stop dicking around. Do you understand me? We kind of need to know what the vibe is for 2026. A little tiny hiking recap. I went to West Virginia and walked around in the woods. And so however much information can come out of that, I'll let you know. Clovey time. I watched Frankenstein, what the streets are saying versus what I'm saying. Tequila time. Kim Kardashian has failed her bar. Tyriq Withers from him has a very interesting revelation as to what he spent his first paycheck on as a celebrity. And then, of course, the Supreme Court's decision about gay marriage. You would think that that might be in the politicking segment. However, no, that's in the main rundown. That's in the main news stories today. And then we will wrap up with a little politicking about the government shutdown. Let's dive right into it because I've got some things to say that are really important. First and foremost, last week, I need to put a little lip gloss on my lips because I like to have a little color on my lips. When I don't have color on my lips, I'm really tiny and frail and petite. I have barely any weight on me at all. So when I'm a little chilly, which, winter's kind of setting upon us and I'm getting a little cold, it's really easy for my lips to get a little flesh colored, a little like cyanotic and blue looking. And there's really nothing that bothers me more than a girl who has the ability to apply a tinted lip gloss and they don't. Like, I'm worried about you, you're worried about me, we're all worried about each other. Our lips are the color of flesh. And I know you might say, well, duh, like that's what the lips are colors of, like flesh, duh, that is what a lip is. But you know what I'm saying? It looks a little dusky. You look a little deprived of oxygen. And so I like to just put a little bit of color on my lips to just wake me up a little bit. I have barely any makeup on today. Barely any. I do have a little bit because the fall, what should we call it? The fall draining, the fall depression, the fall, all the color leaves your body. Like that's hitting me hard. I literally look, hold on, like this Yeti. Where does the Yeti start and where do I stop? And where does the Yeti stop and where do I start? That's how pale I am. And you know what? That's for the ASMR baddies out there. How you doing? I will not complain about being pale the entire winter season, but just know if I'm ever not talking about being pale, I'm thinking about being pale. And am I going to invest in self-tanners? Absolutely. The only thing is my skin's so goddamn sensitive. Like I'm just getting a new handle on it from a breakout like a month ago or like a week ago. Let's be goddamn real. And I'm just getting a handle on it. So you're telling me I'm just getting a handle on it and then I'm supposed to put self-tanner on my face. That's just going to re-aggravate me. But it's like, what would I rather? A little bit of tanness with like 5 pimples or pale, scary. Someone call the police. Someone call someone. Is she alive? Is she okay? Pale, but no pimples. Now that, honey, is a catch-22. I don't know if that's the right phrase and I don't care. I don't have the time to care about things like that, okay? So let's jump into the most important thing happening to me right now. Last week, I let you guys know I didn't know if I ate a sharp cracker. I didn't know if I ate a charcuterie tray. I don't know what I ate, but there was something hard in the back of my mouth. And I know that when I say that phrase to, the most perverted person, they're going to think something dirty. That's not my problem. There's no other way for me to describe it other than I was swishing my tongue around in my mouth, how one does, exploring one's mouth. We all do it every day. See what's going on. Any new cuts, any new this, any new that. I like hard snacks. All of this sounds perverted. Holy shit. I only have girls listening to this anyways. I only like snacks that are like crunchy and like really can fuck you up. So I have to like inspect my mouth every day. Like, do I have any cuts? Like, what's going on? So I'm inspecting my mouth with my tongue and I feel this like hard thing in the back of my mouth. And I'm like, well, that little bitch wasn't there before. Like, what is that? What is that? You guys knew. I didn't know if it was like bone. I didn't know if it was a tooth. But then I'm thinking, why the hell would I'm 35. Why would I have a tooth just popping up in the back of my mouth? I went to the dentist. Don't you know that little bitch is a wisdom tooth coming in? It's a goddamn wisdom tooth coming in. Now, with my x-ray, I knew that there was something about my wisdom teeth that were like led astray. It was something that was like not quite right. I had mentioned, I think last week. I'm like, I think they took some or one or I don't know what. Okay, this is the rundown. They left both my top wisdom teeth there. They attempted to take my bottom wisdom teeth out. On the one side, it's all the way out. On the other side, there's still part of the tooth in my mouth. So when they say they took my wisdom teeth out, there's 4. They took 1.5. Lazy. And I don't know if it was lazy or safety. Honestly, I'm not going to concern myself with that. Maybe there was like a reason they couldn't get to the tooth fragment or something. I don't really know. Because these little bitches have been hibernating since high school. And then this one just decides to pop up and show themselves. Now, here's the thing. I'm not upset about it. The dentist said, I can leave it. I can get it pulled. I can do whatever I want with it. If it doesn't bother me, leave it. If it does bother me, pull it. It might just stay. It's just barely peeking through. It's like, hi. So it's not all the way down. It's just like barely peeking through the gum. He's like, it might stay just barely peeking through the gum. The whole damn thing might come down. He's like, wisdom teeth are unpredictable. Who knew? I thought my emotions were unpredictable. I thought my period was unpredictable. I didn't know my wisdom teeth were unpredictable as well. My God, everything about me is just a mystery. Must be an international woman of mystery. And if that's the case, hello. Okay. Anyways, this is why I'm not mad about it. I'm a very firm believer in when things that are out of the ordinary happen, it's good luck. When things that are out of the ordinary happen, it is like a wrinkle in time. It's like a crack in the multiverse. It is something coming through that is like saying your human experience is unique. Life isn't just going to be the same old bag of tricks. Life isn't going to just be the same old. You might just be living your life and on a November in the middle of damn fall, you might have a wisdom tooth pop up, honey, which is, I think it's great. So I'm taking it as almost like a sign. I'm taking it as a foreshadowing, like this tooth is new and it just popped up on us. And just like that in your life, something could just pop up on you. Hopefully it's not like a secret child, or hopefully it's not, well, I mean, unless you've always wanted kids and like, you know, all of a sudden like someone's like, you're my mom or whatever, that could be something. But, or I guess it would have to be your dad. I guess it would have to be a dad who got popped up on. If a woman got popped up on, there would be a lot of lore that we would have to be trying to find out. You know, it would be maybe women do donate eggs, and then maybe that could happen. That person could have popped up, something like that. Okay. Or actually, back in the day, I think doctors used to steal babies from women and say that their baby had passed away. So roll the clip back. I'm taking it back. Anyone could have anyone pop up and be like, you're my mom or my dad. But in general, I'm taking it as an opportunity to be like, wow, so I was thinking this or in this rhythm, and then all of a sudden something pops up and it's a totally new experience. Like, I don't know how many teeth I had before. I'm not sure how many teeth someone has. I don't know if there's 20 teeth in there. I don't know if there's 25, but whatever it is, I now have one more. And so just like right now with my, let's say, social media or content creation, I could be thinking this thing oh, it's going this way. But then all of a sudden something pops up and someone's like I could be thinking, I'm reading Carl Radke's book right now, Cake Eater. It was sent to me in advance copy because I'm always like writing, not always, but I do write for Carl Radke on social media when it permits. And so I had gotten a DM from Carl one day saying like, hey, like, do you want me to add you to the release list or whatever? I'm like, yes, please. And I don't even really like to read all like that, but I was, thinking it's a Pittsburgh guy, addiction issues in his family, his own struggle with self-discovery. Like I can relate to this. So wait, how did I get on this story about Carl Radke? New discoveries, new person. I don't really know. I'm just going to keep going with it. My train of thought, my God. I mean, honestly, they're going to find me wandering the streets one day. So he popped up. He's like, do you want my book? I'm like, yeah, hell yeah, I want your book. So they just sent it to me and I'm reading it. And I guess I can't really land this story because I don't know how we got here. Self-discovery, learning something, you're new. Okay, I'm going to turn it into what I want to turn it into. Life may be seeming to go one way. And then all of a sudden, like with my social media, I think I was getting somewhere around there. Someone could just message me one day and be like, you're fabulous. We must sign you to our talent agency. We have to get you in front of the cameras. You're going to be the next star. And I'm going to be like, why? What happened? Like, you need a new star? They're going to be like, well, we were trying to make Sydney Sweeney a star, but literally every single movie we put her into fucking bombs and literally loses the company like $57 million. So we decided to stop having her be our like next aspiring actress. Sorry, was that catty of me? I try not to be catty too much these days. I'm trying to put positivity into the air, but I do just want to say I saw the headlines today that Sydney Sweeney's new boxer movie is like in the top 10 worst releases of all time. It made like $1.3 million opening weekend, and I think the budget was like $60 million or something. Don't quote me on that, but it's in the top 10 worst opening films of like all time or of this like generation or something. And it's just like, I don't know. Is there a movie that has come out with her in it that has been fabulous? I know there was Eden, that bombed. I know there's this boxing movie that bombed. I know there was that movie with Glen Powell, and it's ironic that I used to think Glen Powell was the industry plant. Now I love Glen Powell, and now I'm like, I'm sorry, you guys, you cannot convince me that this girl is not, that Sydney Sweeney is not an industry plant. Every single movie she's in bombs, and they keep trying. Like, her PR people must be going home with a broken back. The way that I keep seeing her all over my screen, this interview, in every interview she comes off worse than the last one. In every interview she comes off more pretentious than the last one. In every interview she comes off more like let them eat cake than the last one. Oh, girl, honey. There's not more than 1 or 2 movies left that she's gonna bomb before the industry is gonna be like, honey, we can't keep fucking wasting our money on this girl. She's not pulling through. And I'm going to be like, yeah, I don't know. When someone comes into the scene that is kind of just like, seemingly like doesn't care if the little people, I don't think people realize. Do you know who goes to the movie theaters? The middle class and lower. All these rich people, they have theaters in their homes. Okay, I don't know how they get their movies. I'm not really concerned with it. But the middle class and lower are the ones, we are the ones that schlep to the movies. We're the ones that pile in with 3 or 4 girlfriends or 3 or 4 kids and go to the movies. So when you have an actress that gets on her little interview screens and is like, yeah, if there's something that I want to people to know how I feel about. If there's a topic that ever really impassions me, they'll know. As if everything that has happened this last year hasn't impassioned you. Or, well, maybe you're thrilled about it. And also, oh, how do you feel in this interviewer? I don't know if you guys even know what I'm talking about. Sydney Sweeney got interviewed by some magazine. I don't know if it was Vanity Fair. I don't know, and I don't care. She looked like shit. She had her hair tucked into her collar. She was giving literal quaaludes, allegedly, in my opinion. But I think she's just trying to be sexy. And this interviewer was like softballing her so hard it was so embarrassing and laughable. And she kept trying to like have her speak on these, controversial topics. What do you think about the jeans controversy? I just like jeans. It's like, girl, oh my God. If I wanted to, if something were going to be spoken on, I'd speak on it. It's like, okay, so you haven't spoken on anything this entire year, heard. And then they're like, oh, how did you feel when President Trump like tweeted, not even tweeted, whatever he does because he's banned from Twitter. What did you think when President Trump posted that message in support of you? It was surreal. Oh my God. So when you go on an interview and you're like, basically like, nothing has bothered. If I felt impassioned about something enough to speak on something, I would. Girl, the middle class and lowers being beat over the head with clubs. And we're the ones that would buy your movie tickets, you moron. How dumb are you? Like, how dumb are these people? Rich people don't go to Cinemark, you ding dong. My God. I didn't want to even get... It's so funny because I didn't want to put Sydney Sweeney in the news stories because I was like, I'm not talking about that girl. I'm not going to have her ruin my vibe. But I couldn't help myself. I'm so sorry. Okay, get back on track, Chloe. Now, in this book, Cake Eater by Carl Radke, he is really... The origin story of him I was totally unaware of. I don't know if it's because of when I first watched Summer House, I just maybe wasn't paying attention that deeply, or maybe it was not covered in Summer House. But Carl had apparently, and I'm not going to spoil anything, but Carl had this like long build-up trajectory before going to Summer House where he was trying to aspire to a certain dream and goal. And it ended up kind of just falling to the wayside. He needed to like make money, not make fame, blah, blah, blah. He found himself at Summer House. I don't want to give any spoilers. It's more interesting than that. I just don't want to give spoilers away. Because, I have nothing ever good happens to me with, my brand in like working in like having a elbow into the industry like never happens. So like the 2 times a year it happens, you guys know I'm not going to shut the fuck up about it. Like no one pays me any mind at all. So like literally 2 people pay me mind. So like when one person sends me a book in advance copy, I'm sorry, I'm just going to keep talking about it because it's like that'll be the one good thing for the next 5 years. You know what I mean? It's like them and Peter Thomas Roth and Fridays are literally the only people that are like, oh my God, you kind of exist. And I'm like, thank you. I've been trying to say that. DiGiorno just sent Jules a bedazzled like tracksuit and a bedazzled pizza box and everything. I'm like, I'm pretty sure if you search DiGiorno pizza, my fucking face comes up. And all they did was send me 7 boxes of pizza. I know that that's a lot, but it sure as shit isn't a bedazzled box of pizza, and it sure as shit isn't a tracksuit. Anyways, so Carl's talking about, his dreams, his aspirations. It really got me thinking. Because I'm 35. I kind of think in 2026, we need to get our shit together and we need to start focusing on what our actual dreams are. Because I'm reading in this book that Carl has this dream, and so he moves fucking across the country to do it. And I can't even be bothered to edit a TikTok past 9 p.m. So I'm sitting there like, why haven't I popped off yet? Why haven't I popped off yet? And, I know I get views and I know I have followers. I mean, like actually being able to make a career out of being an entertainer. I'm like, why haven't I popped off yet? I mean, I can't be bothered to not have a cocktail at lunch so that I can make more content at the end of the day. Now, with that being said, I do feel like I put in a fuck ton of effort. I literally post 3 to 5 TikToks every single day. I think that is a lot of effort, but I just feel like I've said this many times, but I need to actually implement it. I always say the best thing about something is also the worst thing about something. So the best thing about something like me, my social media is really authentic. So it's like if I feel something, I just do it, or this or that. Although I have been posting less like baiting political content because I kind of do need to protect my peace a little bit. I feel like I've mentioned many times on here, like my brain, I'm like slipping into a depression a little bit. So, I'm really trying not to post inflammatory shit that just is going to get people, I guess, fighting. Like, I'm happy to post all my stuff about like gun control. I'm happy to post about the government shutdown. I'm happy to post, about helping food banks. I'm happy. I just don't know if right now, I can't post. Like, I think there's no one uglier on the face of the earth than Caroline Leavitt. Like, I think she's a hideous monster. I think she's one of the ugliest Republican women I've ever seen in my life. And I would love to just go online and be like, Caroline Leavitt is literally, the evilness in her soul is physically manifesting. Should we help this woman? Should we give her some kind of Republican exorcism? She's 28 years old. She doesn't look a day younger than 42. What should we do? I'm 7 years older than Caroline Leavitt, and I look at least 5 years younger than her. So I would love to just go online and say that, right? But because I'm teetering between like a full mental breakdown depression and like actually my nervous system like frying out of my body and mind, I think when I was posting a lot of that stuff before, it's because it was bad, but it wasn't reaching the trajectory of bad that we've now. I mean, we're at like the summit, and then it's going to, keeps getting worse. So I think before it was like easy for us to almost be like, these people, are they serious, right? Like, and now it's like, whoa, they're serious. This is really bad. They're serious. They're really serious, and it's getting really violent. People are dying. Men are having seizures in cars. People are missing. Like, so I just don't have the bandwidth to get on TikTok and be like, this ugly chick, right? Like, because I just can't. I need to post political stuff when I feel like it has a direction or goal or like positive momentum or informative or I feel deeply, viscerally impassioned to speak on it. If it's like catty, like if it's like catty, but I feel deeply compelled to just unleash, I will. Otherwise, I need to narrow my focus a little bit. I need to kind of come up with a plan. So when I say the worst thing about something is also the best thing about something, like the best thing about my page is it's authentic. It's real. It's my real experiences. It's my thoughts. But the worst thing about it is it's like I almost refuse to like plan or put effort into or like strategize, because I feel like I would be inauthentic or almost like not misleading, but it's like I like to be like, this is just me, my authentic self. I'm just eating this dinner tonight. I'm just eating this DiGiorno. I'm just eating this sandwich. I'm just wearing this outfit. Like, it's just me. This is me authentically in my day. So I feel like if I like buckle down and nail in and like send these emails and be official. It's almost like I'm portraying like this just real life raw. I'm living life. Come along for the ride. Hop on. I'm not stopping the car. Hop on if you want to. I don't know. I'll slow down, but hop on. Like I'm freaking just living life. So I did come to the realization though, if I'm being dead ass about content creation, I do have to minimally like write in a planner or something. I mean, there's some part, like for example, I DM'd this or I texted this girl once who I now have a friendly relationship with. And I was like, how do you get these like how do you make these videos for these brands? And she's like, oh, like people just reach out to me. Like, does that not happen to you? And I'm like, not really. But then I went in my email that I go to like every night and I just was like deleting all these like, hey, would you like to work with us? Like I was like, I always delete them all. And then I was like, oh my God, wait. I think that's what she's talking about. Like, because people do email me. But the thing is like 95% of those, I don't want to sound cooler than I am. 95% of those are like fake, like weird companies from like, or like real companies that are like literally the product is like a piece of shit. So I normally do delete a lot of those. But there's every once in a while where someone does email me and I'm like, oh, word. Okay. I didn't like, for example, I always use Color Wow in my hair videos because it makes my hair shiny and people want to know how my hair is shiny and I say Color Wow. I was checking my damn messages or DMs or something on TikTok and they had messaged me like, hey, we like your videos with us in it. Like, can we send you a product to put in? Okay, girl, maybe get the fuck on the damn DMs and look at what the hell people are sending you. At the same time, I have this weird guilt in me that is like, well, you use it because you authentically use it. And what are you going to do? Just start hawking it now? And it's like, oh my God, my own internal battle. I'm like, but I do use it. But then I'm like, yeah, but like, just be real. Don't, you know, I don't know if I want real relationships with these brands because I don't want to start to waver my opinion on things. So for example, and I think I'll just tell you guys because not too many people listen to this podcast. I'm going to get this kind of wrong because I don't have it in front of me. But either the DNC reached out to me, the Democratic National Convention, or the social media manager for the DNC reached out to me, or someone along those lines reached out to me and followed me and asked if I would like to be part of or join some communication with them where, you know, they really just, you know, give you information, present information. They made it very clear, like they never tell you what to post. They never tell you your, what your thoughts should be. They never tell you when to post, nothing like that. But like, I guess it's just a way to like readily relate information to Democratic or liberal content creators. Now, in general, you would think that that's awesome, right? Like really, really, really cool. And I do feel that. Like, I think that that's nice that, you know, I've spoken out enough politically that the Democratic National Convention is kind of like, hey, we know this girl exists. That's cool. In the very same breath, I did not do it because I don't want to ever feel I don't want to feel any type of hesitation with posting something. You know, like if I disagree with, like, for example, I'll get to it, the government shutdown. Like those 8 Dems that flipped, they're a bunch of fucking ragtag bitches. I don't fuck with any 8 of them now. Fuck you, bitch. Now, do I feel like I could be emboldened to say that if I'm in some kind of discord with the DNC. I don't know. I've never been in that situation. I'm not willing to find out though. I just want to be able to say what I want to say without feeling like I'm going to tarnish something or burn some bridge. Now, at the same time, I think that has bit me. I think that's why it's been such a slow burn for me, because maybe companies have been interested in me before and then they go on my page and they see it's extremely fragmented content. I don't know. I kind of care. I kind of don't care. I don't know. I don't know. Right now, I don't care. Maybe I'll continue to care. Maybe I'll care in a little bit. Right now, I don't care. Okay. Enough about that. What I want to say is we're going to have an assignment next week. We're coming to the table with what our dreams are. We need to lock in what 2026 is aspiring to be to us, because we can't do this for another year. You know, the depression was here, the anxiety, the shock, the dismay. And while all that's still going to ring true in 2026, we have to have something else, some goal, some drive. Oh, you want to be a flower potter? You want to pot flowers or something? So then let's say your goal is to get one pot and pick out your dream flower. Like, we got to figure something out. I wish I had a passion like that. Like, I don't like to crochet. I don't like to exercise. I don't like to... What are other hobbies people do? I'm telling you this right now, I can be a little competitive in the sense of like, I love camaraderie. And like, I would love to be part of an adult kickball team, because one, I feel like an adult kickball team is literally an excuse to literally just leave the house and not be depressed, and also like maybe have drinks or eat afterwards. I feel like it's almost like an adult kickball team is kind of like a tortilla chip. It's literally just exists. It's a mode to get to the guacamole. Like the guacamole is the main, a delicacy, but you can't eat it with a damn spoon. So you technically have a tortilla chip to aid in eating the guac. That's what an adult kickball team is. So I would be open to that, kind of. I run slow. I run really slow. And also, there's a few things that I'm self-conscious about. One is my lack of ass. It's really crazy. I really am feeling like I have to start doing squats. I say it every week. What's going to get me? Hey, I'm going to add that to my dream list. Can I get an ass in 2026? Only time will tell. So some of my things I'm self-conscious about, my ass and how slow I run. When I tell you, honey, if a burglar were chasing after me, it wouldn't be a chase. He would be chasing after me and I would be running. He would literally be like, girlfriend, where are you going? We've made it to the hallway. It's been about 45 seconds. And I'd be like, I'm running away from you. You can't burglarize me. And he's like, you're not running. You're moving your shoulders and your arms. Your legs are walking at a normal pace and you're moving your shoulders and your arms in your head. Your top is saying you're being burglarized. Your bottom's saying, take your time, queen. Don't get those shoes dirty. So those are is there anything else I'm self-conscious about? I know I need a neck lift, but I don't really give a shit about that. This is my face. My face is literally stunningly pretty. Like, yeah, I know I need a neck lift. Fucking write a book about it. I don't give a shit. Ass. Oh my God, do you hear my dogs? Haters. My ass. My slowness of running. Sometimes I've mentioned this before. Sometimes I don't know what to do with my mouth. Because when I'm at work, like, if I smile at everyone, I feel like I'm coming off creepy. Like, I'm just like, if that was video, you would see me smiling. Just smiling at everyone. It's like, okay, is that like weird? Is it kind of like, okay, creepy, like stop smiling at me. But then if I don't smile, I just have this frown. And then I don't want to have a frown. So I'm like pursing my lips all the time. Like because I don't know what to do with my mouth when I'm at work. Because sometimes, I think I've mentioned this before. I might have just mentioned it on a TikTok. You start to get a little weird about smiling in a hospital. Because like I smiled at a patient once and he was like, I'm going to put a baby in you. And I was like, do not say that to me. That's fucking disgusting. First of all, you're 80. Second of all, creepy. Third of all, I'm freaking taking care of you, dude. Now you've made it awkward for both of us. All I was trying to do is be friendly and present myself as a welcoming, warm woman to you. And it's like, oh, so what? Is it my smile that made that happen? Or was it you just being a freak? And by the way, he was not like confused or anything. Obviously, if you're confused, that's a totally separate story. No, this guy was 8 He just wanted to be weird. And so now I'm at work. I'm like, what am I doing with the smiles? I don't know what to do. So I think those are probably the only 3 things I'm self-conscious about. And for now, that's fine. We don't need to dive into anything else. Okay. Let's jump right into Cluvy time. I don't have a good intro for Cluvy time. Cluvy time. Your name in stars and lights. No, that's not good. We'll work on it. We'll workshop it. So Frankenstein just hit Netflix, I believe. I don't know. I don't have Netflix because I'm literally think there's nothing good on that platform. But like, as in, I don't particularly like any of the shows on there, but my sister had it. And I was in West Virginia with her this weekend. What can I say about West Virginia? This is my takeaway. I had to drive through Pennsylvania. I drove through West Virginia. I spent 2 hours in the car. And by the way, I normally spend 4 hours in the car when I'm driving to Maryland every week. 8 if you consider it round trip. I will no longer buy into this propaganda that there's not enough room for all of us. Honey, I'm driving through these states. There's nothing there. Nothing. There is plenty of room for all of us. I can vouch for it. Put my hand on my e.l.f. lip oil. There, I solemnly swear, is enough room for all of us. I'm driving through these states. There's nothing there. Nothing. And maybe there's farms or maybe there's dairy farms, and to me it just looks like a big field. I'm not to be bothered with the details of it. All I can tell you is I drove through Pennsylvania. I drove through West Virginia. There's a lot of wide open land. So can we all just stop being such freaking little princesses and being like, oh, there's not enough room for everyone in America? Aren't you guys saying that the birth rates are declining? I mean, shouldn't we be welcoming people in droves? I mean, aren't we saying that millennials are literally like killing the birth rate in this country? I would think that we would be rolling out the red carpet for Hispanics and Latinos. Come on over. Me personally, like, I'm not going to have kids. I'm not going to help. I'm not aiding in the birth rate. Come on. I feel like for every, I just had a genius idea. I'm so smart. So what did we say? Families used to have what? Like three kids? That was like the nuclear family. If someone like me decides I don't want kids, I should be able to sponsor 3 Hispanics or Latinos to come up here and not be bothered by this administration. Like, I don't want to have kids, so we need 3 people to take the place of what I would have had. Let 3 people come up here and just live their lives. You know, without the potential of, you know, these people just dragging them out of their workplaces. I think that that's genius. And it would fix the birth rate problem. You're welcome. You're welcome. Maybe I will email the DNC back. They could use someone like me with some freaking brains and common sense. Absolutely. Okay. So what can I say about West Virginia? I went there. I was really scared. It's like pitch black out there. At night, there's like no, I know that there's cities where I was at, there was no city. There was like one little town, and when I drove through it, the first house in the town. I'm telling you, it's like, welcome to this town, and the number one house on the right-hand side has a Confederate flag hanging. So I got there. We drove through this little town that immediately I was like, oh my God, really? Okay, that's where but I don't want one person's house to represent the entire town. So we drove through the town. Then we drove like 30 minutes past the town to this little cabin. Pitch black out there at night. I mean, I couldn't see a thing. I couldn't see my hand in front. It was one of the most, I'm scared of a lot of things. I'm a big scaredy cat. It's funny because I'm scared of some things. Like I'm scared of the dark. I'm scared of driving fast. I'm scared of white men. I'm scared of, especially white men of divorced parents. Like, whoa. I mean, if anyone's going to not be able to process things, it's that, you know what I mean? Not all, but a lot. I think we can all be honest about that. Okay. And if you can't tell I'm being a little facetious, of course. I mean, my brother is, the product of a divorcee, So I think, does divorcee mean both people? Whatever. Our parents were divorced. Okay. Anyways. So I'm being a little facetious, but you know what I mean. I am though. I'm sorry. I literally was thinking about it. When I was in West Virginia, I was literally scared. Because I just feel like, I'm sorry. I'm just going to be honest. I feel like on the news in these last few months, I feel like I've just learned that there's no one more angry in this world than a perfectly fine white man. It's like, why are you so angry? Why are we beating all these people up? What is wrong? Why are you so angry? Why are we hitting these people and pulling women's hair and ripping kids away from people? Like, what is going on? So anyways, I wasn't going to let one house paint the whole town, get all the way out there. It's dark, I'm scared of the dark. And I was in such a weird predicament because I'm so scared of the dark. I'm also really scared of bugs. And I either had my option to be out with my sister and my boyfriend walking the dogs in pitch black. And you go, oh, well, you have your light from your cell phone. Yeah, I love being able to see 2 feet in front of me into total pitch blackness with maybe just the occasional flicker of an eye shine in the distance. Oh, is it a bear? Is it a vampire? Is it a human? Who is it? So I had the option to either be outside in the pitch black with 2 feet of vision in front of me, walking the dogs, or stay alone in the house. Now, how's that fair to me? I'm scared. I'm fucking scared. People aren't understanding what I'm saying. When I'm saying I'm scared. Oh, lock the doors. I'm sorry. Can we go back to my Darth Vader episode, my Darth Maul episode, where I said, like, I've seen 1,000 previews on TV of someone being at an Airbnb and like the doorbell ringing and you're like looking and it's just like some person with a mask. I understand I could lock the doors. In what world of any scary movie has that stopped a scary person ever? It hasn't. So not only was I scared, the next day when we actually went hiking, that was fine. Okay, it was pretty. That was nice to see pretty things. I'm going to admit to that. Okay, I saw pretty things. That was really nice. But then at night, we're back at the house and what's screeching upstairs? I can't do a bat sound. A fucking bat. And like we couldn't nail down where this bat was. It wasn't like it was flying that we could see it, but it was like in the walls or like in the ceiling or like we heard it through the closet door really good. I'm sorry. If you're a listener of mine and you're in West Virginia, obviously I know there's some good parts of West Virginia. If you're a listener of mine and you're there, obviously there's some kind of light shining down on that state in some way. Between the bugs, between the darkness, between the Confederate flag as soon as I turned into that town, between the bat, I was scared. A big portion of my trip, I was scared. Okay? You know where I've never been scared at? Freaking Washington, D.C., where they had the damn National Guard out. For what? For what? I'm walking around there all the time. Not a care in the world. I don't know. There's something about cities that comfort me. I'm not scared of cities at all. Chicago, New York, Baltimore, DC. I've never been scared. I was scared in Seattle. I'm not going to lie. I was a little scared in Seattle. I'm not going to lie about that. But that's the only time. Okay. God damn, we're almost done with the podcast. I haven't even gotten to tequila time. So Frankenstein. I was talking about, golly, I'm going to need a stenographer next to me. They're going to have to be typing down what I'm saying and roll me back to where I came from. Okay. So Frankenstein was on Netflix. My sister had her Netflix account logged in. We watched it. Listen, the girls and guys are gagged over it. I've been seeing nothing but great reviews about it. Let's just get with the positives first and foremost. It's snowing out. It's snowing. It's snowing. I love snow. Snow White. Hi ho, hi ho. Off to work we go. Hi ho, hi ho, hi ho, hi ho. Okay. The first snow of Pittsburgh, December 10th. Yay. Okay. So let's get some of the positives straight away. Mia Goth, fabulous. She was so good in this movie. The fashion that Mia Goth was wearing, top tier. I hope whoever did the costume design wins this year because it was really good. And you know me, I love a dramatic look. The set design, really interesting, really great. Like the visuals were stunning. Storyline. I just didn't love the storyline. It just strayed so drastically for me from what I know Frankenstein to be. Also the main character of it, Isaac, I can't remember his last name. There was like a plot line that threw me off a lot in this movie where it was like Isaac, I wish I could remember his last name. He's like the main character. He's Frankenstein. Because Frankenstein is not the monster. It's Frankenstein's creation. So the monster is someone totally different. Okay. In the movie, it's Victor Frankenstein. He's the creator of Frankenstein. In this movie, it's supposed to be Victor Frankenstein and like he has this little brother in the movie. And, they can't be more than 10 years apart, maybe 12. And then he's supposed to like grow up and like fall in love with Mia Goth. And I'm just watching it this whole time. And it's like, I Googled this guy. I'm like, how old is this guy? Because he's supposed to be the older brother to this kid in love with Mia Goth. And I think they just dyed this guy's hair black to make him look younger. And so I'm Googling him. He's 56 or 57 years old. Mia Goth is, late 20s? Maybe early 30s? And then I Googled the younger brother. He's 30. And I'm like, you guys, I appreciate this Victor Frankenstein. I can't remember his real name, Isaac something. Let me try to look it up real quick so I don't drive all you girls and guys crazy. I say guys truly as a, I guess, just safety net because I'm like, if there's one girl or guy in here, or they or them or he or she or this or they, them, there, anything, you know me. I just want to acknowledge you, but like I would be shocked. Well, you know what? I know my friend John listens sometimes. Brandon does too sometimes, and I think he falls off. And my boyfriend, so I guess that makes 3 of them. Let me see. Victor Frankenstein. Okay, hold on. Frankenstein. The thing about Frankenstein is there's been so many movies. When you Google it, it's like 7,000 things. Oh, Oscar Isaac. Thank God I just Googled that. Oscar Isaac. Oscar Isaac. Oh, I think I read that wrong. Okay, well, Oscar Isaac's 46 years old. Thank God I fact checked myself in real time. Mia Goth is 32. Okay, respectable. But then his brother is 30. Okay, William Frankenstein, his brother. So this entire time, and let me just show you this, okay? Because I think it's important. Because I personally think Oscar Isaac is like totally like cutie, very attractive. Like, he really is like totally visually fine. However, I know Oscar Isaac as like this guy. Let me zoom in. Oh, golly. Oh, and I have not broken my golly habit, you guys. Red alert, red alert. Okay. I know Oscar Isaac as this guy. Okay. He's gray, head to toe. He's a gray, scruffy, attractive man, okay? For me to believe, this is who his brother was. And I know that this is really getting in the weeds here, but I'm just telling you it was a major plot issue in the movie. For him to play supposedly like a few years older brother of this guy who's 30, who fucking looks 22, and then in love with Mia Goth, the whole time I'm just like, you guys literally just dyed his hair black. It is like hugely distracting. I can't even focus on this movie. Like, Oscar's just sitting there, supposed to be like this petulant young genius scientist. I'm like, you guys just dyed his hair black and made him hit on Mia Goth. Like, I'm sorry, that's crazy. And also the way that they told the story, I don't want to spoil it, but like, they just told it in a way that's not my preference. I'm not saying all movies need to just be like beginning, middle, end, but the weird like cutting back and like recounting of times and like, now you're in the past, now you're in the present, now you're back, now you're present again, I just don't like it. I didn't like it. I'm sorry, I didn't like it. I'm just going to be honest. And a lot of people are talking about Oscar buzz, which is fine. I'm not a hater. Like, if it's going to have Oscar buzz, have Oscar buzz. It was visually beautiful. But I will say, Nosferatu was one of the best movies I've seen. And that barely had a blip on the Oscars radar. And so I would just like people to start being fair. Because Lily Rose Depp was like unbelievable in that movie. Mia Goth was really good in this movie, but like, I don't know. I just like was watching it. I was like, this is not an Oscar contender. And if it is an Oscar contender, it needs to be for like set design, costume design, and maybe Mia Goth. Like, other than that, I'm sorry. I'm not falling for the propaganda. Now, golly, okay. I'm going to quickly go through Tequila Time. Ratatatata, ratatatata. He ratatatata, ratatatata. Ha, ha, ha. Let me quickly go through Tequila Time because I have to pee. Golly, drinking these Stanleys during my podcast was actually crazy. I did not know why I would have ever decided to do that. First story of the week: Kim Kardashian failed her bar exam. Duh. I mean, I barely wanted to cover this story because you know me, I'm a Kim Kardashian hater. I literally just wanted to cover it to say Kim Kardashian failed the bar. Duh. Like, of course. Like, duh. Like, okay. Duh. Like, I'm like, I don't know how to keep, obviously. Like, okay. Next story. Tyriq Withers from the movie Him that just came out a few months ago. Google him if you don't know him. Google this clip. It's the cutest clip I've ever seen in my life. So he was being interviewed by... Gosh, I need to start writing this stuff down. He was being interviewed by some fancy magazine, and they were covering like the new upcoming Hollywood. And if you guys ever want to see me actually start to act totally like I've literally just crushed off caffeine pills and snorted them, it is when I have to pee. Nothing else. It consumes my mind. It consumes my body. So Tyriq Withers from the movie Him, that's like his big break, I believe. But he's been in several smaller things prior to that. He was being interviewed by some magazine, some young Hollywood magazine, but like a prestigious one. Gosh, I wish I could remember. The Hollywood Reporter, I believe. I think it's the Hollywood Reporter. And they were asking these like young Hollywood people, like, when you got your first paycheck as like a working actor or actress or whatever, like, what did you spend it on? And he was like, Olive Garden, baby, that's freaking delicacy. First of all, he sounded extremely sincere. He was like, Olive Garden, duh. Like, yeah, breadsticks, ever heard of them? And I thought that that was so endearing. Like, I say all the time that I'm so happy I wasn't born rich, because I feel like when you're born rich, sometimes, of course, you can be normal and appreciate things. Of course. I'm not saying you can't. But there's like these core memories or moments as an individual. Like when I became a dishwasher at 15 and I got my first paycheck of $200, honey, you couldn't say shit to me. I was sitting there with that paycheck, $200. I think I got paid every other week. I was like, that's $100 a week, baby. That's like 6 or 7 different type of nail polishes if I want, baby. That's 100 bagels from Brugger's if I wanted to. Technically, it would have been like 85 because a bagel with grape jelly was $1.09. I'm fucking filthy rich. You can't say shit to me. When you got your first paycheck and you were broke, when I say what me and my sisters and stuff used to eat, our house always had sardines, lentil soup, tuna, and rice, white bread, and mustard. And you don't think I was making those mustard sandwiches? My dad did try to keep fresh fruit and vegetables in the house as well. But like when you got your first, and that's why I feel like normally one thing happens with a celebrity and I normally like become their fan and ride with them until something catastrophic happens. Like Tyriq Withers, I literally Googled him after that. I was like, Tyriq Withers lore. Like, I need to know more about him. I couldn't find anything other than he's from Florida. But I just feel like there's something about, like, there's a kinship where you just knew, like, for him spending that money on Olive Garden and you seeing it in his face, him being like, Olive Garden. Like, I feel like kinship to him now because I know that feeling when I got that paycheck and I was like, okay, pick my poison. Caramel frappuccino, jelly bagel, nail polish from Eckert. The world's my oyster. I got $100 per week. You guys can't say shit to me. Like, oh, I'm going to wipe my tears with my dollar bills. In that, you cannot get that feeling if you didn't grow up on the grind, honey. On the grind. I remember a table tipped me $60 once and I nearly fit. This table, they were at table 72 and 73. It was a 7-top at Bahama Breeze. They tipped me $60. Nearly died. I was like, this, I can't accept this. It's too generous. I can't accept that money. They're like, it's $60. I'm like, what can I do for you? My womb's healthy. What do you need? A child? I mean, I think my womb's healthy. I haven't been to a gynecologist in like 5 years. I just need to make an appointment. It's healthy. Golly. Jesus Christ. Why do I always have to ruin everything? I regret saying that and I'm not editing it out. I don't have the time. Of course it is. There would be no reason why I would think it isn't. Anyways, let's move past that. So anyways, Tyriq Withers seems like a total gem of a guy. Really just appreciated his candor in that. Last tequila time story. The Supreme Court has rejected a case that would, let me say this more officially. Sorry, because this is an official story. The Supreme Court has rejected to hear a case that could have overturned gay marriage in America. They rejected to hear the case because there were not 4 justices on the court that would have been in favor of overturning gay marriage. This is shocking. You know, I know, everyone with a brain knows that the Supreme Court these days, I mean, they're shucking and jiving. They're making choices based on, allegedly, in my opinion, white nationalist standards. Right? So when I heard that they were going to possibly hear a case that would have overturned gay marriage, I thought, oh, goners. Okay, well, that was nice. No hate while it lasted. And so to wake up today to hear that, I was absolutely shocked and thrilled. I'm not going to give them an applause or anything, because fuck you for everything else, all the other fucking bullshit you put us through. Fuck you, bitch. Right? But at least with this, I'm happy that gay marriage is protected. Should have never even been up on the chopping block in the first place. But what's that woman's name? Kim Davis, the ugly woman that keeps trying to get gay marriage banned again on her 4th marriage. How are you going to be on your 4th marriage and talk about the sanctity of marriage should be between a man and a woman? Honey, for you, it's plural. Between a woman and her men. There's more than one of them 4 times. And I don't know how you get 4 husbands. You're ugly and your soul is wicked. Not to be rude, but sometimes people need to have rudeness put onto them. Sorry, that's how I feel. And then a little bit of politicking. We're going to roll through this because I'm trying to keep it light and bright. We've hit an hour of what I think is a feel-good time, except for my little Sydney Sweeney rant, which honestly, whatever, who cares? We woke up this morning. It is Monday morning in all fairness, even though for you guys it's Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. And to find out that 8 Democrats have flipped in the Senate to end the government shutdown. Now you may go, well, why is that bad news? We wanted the government shutdown to end. Of course we did. We want workers to get paid. We want the government open. Here's the problem. The reason the government was shut down was because the Democrats were holding strong to not pass what is going to strip or inflate healthcare for tens of millions of people. So the Senate needs 60 votes to pass something. And by the way, I'm talking extremely layman terms because I barely understand this shit myself. I wasn't a politician because I didn't want to fucking have to learn this shit. I just know my moral and ethical codes, but I don't have to know like fucking penal code numbers. I don't have to be like, oh, well, the Senate does this and how. I don't really know. I just didn't think I needed to know this kind of stuff. I didn't realize everyone was so evil. Anyways, the Senate needed 60 votes to be able to put something through. The thing that was going to be put through is going to absolutely and financially annihilate the healthcare system. So I wrote this down. Let me try to read my handwriting. 20 million Americans are going to have their health insurance premiums doubled with whatever this bill or whatever is going through. Some people are actually going to have their health insurance premiums tripled. In addition to that, this will kick off 15 million Americans from Medicaid and the Affordable Care Act. The reason we were in a government shutdown is because for once in their godforsaken lives, the Democrats were actually trying to stand on business and force the Republicans to not be able to do this. But 8 weak individuals ended up flipping because they have no, allegedly in my opinion, morals, principles, backbone, or cojones. And so now the government's not officially reopened yet, and it is Monday, so things could change, but it has to go through like one more additional Senate vote, and then it goes to the House, and the government could be reopened, honestly, literally by the time this comes out. What the fuck? Like, what is the point of having the government shut down for 40 days if you're just going to end up signing the shit that is going to fuck over 30 to 40 million people? What is the point? You accomplished nothing. In the Bulwark or something, put out some dumb article that was like, well, it could have been worse. Shut the fuck up, please. The whole point was to not allow them to... The financial fallout to the healthcare industry from this bill is going to be catastrophic. Whatever, like I'm paying $440 a month right now for health insurance, private health insurance, because I'm a travel nurse. 20 million people are going to have their insurance doubled. Some people are going to have it tripled. People are going to be I can't even talk. People are going to be paying thousands of dollars for health insurance. So, I mean, what the fuck? You know what I mean? And lastly, I'm going to close out with a little Trump pardoned 70. This is the thing that I'm kind of a borderline conspiracy theorist now. So I think the Supreme Court thing happened to brush this under. I think Trump literally told the Supreme Court, allegedly, in my opinion, don't pass this because, or like, let gay marriage still exist so that the news stories and news headlines are all covered with that stuff. And then this skirts on by. But don't worry, I'm here to let the people know about it. And all that's allegedly, in my opinion. Trump overnight pardoned 70 associates 70 of his associates for anything related to them breaking the law with trying to overturn the 2020 elections. So 70 people that had some kind of repercussion because they were part of the whole, like, Trump really won the 2020 election and, like, we need to raise hell to prove it or whatever. He pardoned them, 70, including Rudy Giuliani. Pardoned. All off the hook. The insurrectionists off the hook. These 70 people off the hook. Everyone's off the hook. Everyone. So hell. What the hell? Okay. That's it for this week. Please like, rate, review, subscribe, share, chat. Leave a comment. Chat. How'd you like this week's episode? I thought it was pretty damn groovy. Okay. Let's just see how things go. And we're going to be positive for 2026. Remember, that's our goal. You know, fake it till we make it. Okay. Like, rate, review, subscribe, share, talk, kiki. Yeah. Girl talk. I love it. Okay. And until next week, bye.